Wagwan, your bomber clots and batty gals and batty boys all around the world tuning in one more time, doing it all the way down here and from the Toronto's areas, mans. Ladies and gents, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's a social production. We're doing it on April 4th, 2025. It's Friday. It's the end of the week, beginning of the month. We've already started it, four days deep inside of it. If you're tuning in from Canada, if you're in Toronto, if you're anywhere over there in Vancouver, BC, Halifax, Nova Scotia, over there in the Yukon Territories, Northwest Territories, down south in the US, further down south, Mexico, over there in South America, the Chiles, Paraguay, Paraguays, Uruguay, Senegal, over there in Africa, Portugal, Spain, over there in Zimbabwe, the New Sentinel Islands in the Indian Ocean, all around the world. Asia, over there in Europe as well. Of course, New Zealand, Australia, Papua New Guinea as well. Wherever you're tuning in from. Remember this, always remember this. If she sucks and swallows, you know she's a keeper. If she spits it all out, you know you gotta leave her. Hi, my name is Rob Sadri. I'll be your host, just as I've been your host for the past little while now. Here we are, it's Friday. But that's always remember that, because people do ask, they're like, how do I know if she's a keeper? Again, if she swallows, you know she's a keeper. If she spits it all out, gotta leave her. That's what you gotta do. Get a sip of this bad boy right here. I'm just excited. I'm grateful to be alive. Once again, as each and every day comes forward, you're like, oh yes, another day, baby, we're doing it. But I'll tell you what, it's just the little things that counts. It's the little things that count. On Wednesday, I went out for a walk, as I normally do, and the weather was horrendous in the GTA. Here we go into spring a little bit differently than most places. Most places, when spring starts. Spring is sprung, you spring into it, it's nice and warm. You can get outside without a thick jacket. It's not too cray-cray. Here in the GTA in Toronto, Canada, for that, Canada's fucking huge. I've not been to a lot of places in Canada, so I can't speak, but it's more or less the same. This is as good as it gets, and then it gets colder and, more severe as you go into the northern territories, or, prairies, I'm assuming, is a little bit different as well. Nonetheless, the point is, in the GTA, it does get cold, even in the beginning of spring. And on Wednesday, I'm telling you right now, it was pouring rain, then it turned into snow, then it turned into freezing rain. And I was outside, and I told myself, I'm like, should I go out? Should I not go out? I'm like, weather the storm. It's nice to get in a few steps, just because it's good to get some sort of exercise, move the body around. It's good to do that. So I do. And I get out there, and it's everybody's, you see them, everybody's with their umbrellas shaking, flailing around, and just like wartime. And we know as Canadians, we know when you're out in the streets and it's cold outside, everybody's, everybody's nice and all, but also like they're getting to their business. You do your thing, you get to your business. Put your head down, put your headphones on, headphones off. Get to your business, head down, hoodie on, wind is slicing your face, there's pellets being thrown in your eyeball. It's dry out there and it's wet and it's cold. And no matter what kind of shoes you wear, it ends up getting wet anyway. So you're in the trenches of shit. So what I'm trying to tell you is that we appreciate spring and summer. All right, we appreciate spring and summer. The hot weather is highly appreciated. And then on Thursday, drastic change. We go up into temperatures, 20 degrees outside, 19, 18, 20 degrees outside, sunny as fuck, which is yesterday. I'm out on the streets doing my thing. And you see it in people's, the effect of the sun, the vitamin D is not to be messed around with. It makes a huge, as soon as the first time we get a glimpse of the sun, everybody smiles. All the neighbors are saying hi to each other. I got 4 highs and hellos. Every other day, it's like, get out of my way, go fuck yourself. Nobody says that, but you know what I mean? Everybody's doing their own thing, mind their own business. As soon as the sun comes out, and they, look at this weather we're having. That's what I'm talking about, neighbor. How you doing? Hello there. It's nice to see that. Nobody says fuck you or anything. I just want to reiterate, nobody's, we're not like fucking about it, but we're also like, let me, if I can please and thank you, make things move along a little bit quicker. But as soon as the sun comes out, it is just nice to, that's just what I'm talking about. People are saying, about this weather we're having over here, as everybody's ready to suck some dick and eat some puss and put some tits out for the viewerships, if you know what I mean. It's that season, so I'm excited for the tits, man. I'm excited to see everybody smiling, everybody getting about, and it's that season, baby. So we're doing it. If and then it's just a little sunny days. Always do come out. They do say when it rains, when it pours or whatever, there's always a sunshine or a rainbow after it or something along this. That's just climate. That's just weather. But whether we're talking about actual weather or your life, I hope that's the case. If you've had any rainy days, always remember that there's the sun coming out right after a little while. It might take a day or two, or a couple of hours, but there's always the sun. Get out there, expose your asshole to the sun, sunbathe in the nude with your family and friends, and engage in some sunbathing. Lather up, put some moisture on your tits, put your cock out, let it just. And they say that whichever way the sun's hitting your cock, that's the way it tilts. They say that it's like cocks are like flowers. They say that it tilts towards the sun. If you don't believe me, test it out on your deck today. Go out, all your barbecuing, and just strip off, get naked, put your cock out, see which way it leans. If it doesn't lean towards the sun, there's something horribly wrong with your penis, and you should probably see a doctor, because as far as this doctor is concerned, penises, cocks are like flowers. They lean towards the sunshine, towards the sunlight. And again, if yours doesn't, you might need to rip it off. I'm sorry to tell you, if your cock doesn't lean towards the sun, once you've exposed it to the sun, that is, it's perhaps you need to take some medication. Perhaps you need to start anew. Perhaps you need to switch cities or towns, because I don't know how you can live with that. But there's not many of you out there whose cocks don't lean towards the sun. But if you are, you little freaks, it'll be okay. Rip it off. Get a new one. Get a new one built for you. It's okay. Get a Chinese one. Get one that's made in Taiwan. It's cheaper, but I bet you can get like double the size. Or you can get it made here. I don't care. Probably cost you more. Not as girthy as you'd like. You can make it as girthy as you like when you outsource. Local made, a little bit more of a red line situation, but outsourced. Triple XL peen for this guy whose peen doesn't lean towards the sun. Telling you right now, you're a little bit freak. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's okay. We accept and love everybody here. That's all right. I'm not gonna tell anybody. Leave a comment, identify yourself. I'm not gonna tell anybody. But that's just a little bit of the sunshine coming out there, saying hello to the folks and us saying hello right back, sir. Madam, it's the hermaphrodite thing, this ball of fire burning up in the sky. The source of life, some say, but also a source of death, because it's like deadly, so you can't get too close to it. But that's just the sun, ladies and gents. It's that time of year. It is makeup and make down, and it's makeup and breakup season. It's that season. Spring, summertime's always that season. Either you're getting into a relationship or you're breaking up and you're getting into another relationship. It's that beautiful time of year. But I do have a little bit of I'm a little, just in terms of, the wording of it, I don't like the term break up, because it's wrong. I'm just saying it's wrong. It shouldn't be break up. It should be break down. We are now breaking down. I have a little beef with that. So when you say break up, if the breaking is got negative connotations, it's something's broken, something's breaking, but up is kind of indicating as in an upward movement, scaling up, moving on up. Things are looking up. Moving up is you're advancing, you're getting better, moving up. Breaking up seems like you should tell people you're breaking up if your relationship is getting stronger, if you're taking it to the next level. Where we at? One of those conversations. Where's this going? It's going up. We're breaking up. This related 3 months, 6 months. It's time to really break up. When you say break up, it should be for you're going into you're moving in with each other. You are or you're moving out. You're moving out, but for the better. Now you're buying 2 properties, but also keeping the relationship tight. Getting a new car, getting a new pet, that should be a breakup. We're breaking up today. I'm telling you right now, we're breaking up and I'm getting you a new car. That should be the breakup. Because that's what it is. When you say break up, it just sounds positive, a little bit positive. Whereas break down, that would make sense. I think we need to have a little talk. What's going on? I think we need to break down. Oh no. That indicates separation. Breaking down is never a good sign, whether it's your whatever. Financially breaking down. The refrigerator is breaking down. Electricity is broken down. The grid breaking down. Manufacturing breaking down. Whatever it is, if it's breaking down, it's not a good thing. That means it's separating. It's broken. Might not be fixed. And that's what I'm just saying. It's just the words of it are. I don't feel properly, all the way with it. I'm just like, we need to. So from now on, if you are about to break up with somebody, just please say, we're breaking down. I'm breaking down with you. I'm breaking down with you. We're breaking down together. This is a mutual breakdown. We've been broken down. We're breaking down now. This is as broke down as it gets. You could say that. But breaking up seems like, yeah, you're just, we caught a break. We're breaking up. This is positive mobility. We're breaking up. We're getting extra limbs sewed on our bodies today. We're breaking up. Hells yes. Extra arms for this couple right here. Get 2 extra arms on each of them. This couple is breaking up. This couple has just adopted a 19 or 21-year-old super athlete from Eastern Europe. This couple is about to break up. This couple's future is about to blow up, break up because of their newly adopted son who's really going to be great at basketball. He's from Eastern Europe, doesn't speak a word of English, but this couple is now breaking up. They've now got a new son who's pitching in for rent as well. We're breaking up. That's what it should be. We're getting a pet, and this pet can detect cancer. It's a cancer detecting cat. It's a cat cancer detecting detective. You could say that we're breaking up. Our cat actually smells cancer, and we rent it out. We're breaking up. Where the cash that's coming into this relationship from this cat that smells cancer is off the charts. This cat has broken this relationship all the way up. And that's the way it should be. But that's not the way it is, ladies and gents, because seems to be some sort of a breakdown in communication, if I'm not mistaken. So from now on, if you are parting a relationship, say that you're breaking down, not breaking up. Quit, misleading people is all I'm trying to say. Break up sounds positive. Break down, you know what it is. We're breaking down. It's been broken down. I'm about to part ways. You're about to go your separate way. We are breaking down. This relationship is no longer working. We're breaking down. Breaking up. Should we have dinner, lunch, brekkie? A little brekkie after sex, before sex, after sex, brekkie? Smoking a cigarette and sipping on champagne. We're breaking up now. Things are looking good. We're breaking up. I'm just saying, word your phrases properly. Breaking down, moving forward for when you're separating from your significant other. But there's always somebody else out there. Always remember that. I saw a turtle on the news yesterday. 98 years old, just gave birth. This turtle just gave the oldest female turtle to give her 98. 4 baby turtles came out of her vag. You know how dry that vag is, but nonetheless, did she lose hope? No. Somebody was out there fucking her really slowly from behind. I don't know if it was like an elderly turtle, one of those giant ones too. So there's always somebody out there for you, and we're happy to see 98. Could you imagine a 98-year-old female, a biological female, human female giving birth? All the bones shattering in her body, pelvis breaking off, just, limbs flying off. Her, whatever's remaining of her vag would just sploosh on the ground. 98. Oh, 98, that is. I'd like to see it happen though, so please do not give up. We do see gentlemen going up there and cranking out babies into the late 80s. I'm just saying, ladies, do not fall behind. Get in there. 80s, 90s, pop out some elderly babies out of your badge. Because they do say that we should technically be living up until like 120. If all goes well, 120 is like where they say we could be. That's most humans. If you just, give them decent food, a little bit of exercise, family, friends, all the resources, 120, they say that. So no, 90, if you have a baby and you're 90, you could live up to 120, you still get a good solid 30 years with that kid. So have a baby when you're 90 is what I'm trying to tell you. Quit getting pregnant early, have a baby when you're 90. Sure, the baby might be a little bit retarded, but then again, might be the good kind. It might be the kind that like it might be one of those like focus babies. You know what I mean? One of those focused retarded babies. One of those retarded focus babies. Positive retarded. Pro-retarded babies with focus. One of those babies. Or it might be really fucking needy and, but nonetheless, roll the dice, have a baby when you're 90 is what I'm trying to tell you. Other animals are doing it. We're better than them. And turtles, if I'm being completely honest, they're just penises with arms and legs and a shell. Let's be honest with ourselves and the turtle community. Small ones, large ones. It looks like a penis with arms and legs and a shell. Put a shell over your penis if you've got one. Give it arms and legs and tell me it's not a turtle. Tell me it's not a turtle. As a matter of fact, if you want to sneak a penis anywhere, just put a shell on it, give it arms and legs, let it sneak into a place. What is that, a penis? No, it's a turtle. You'll say that, they'll believe it. Why? Because it looks like one. Doesn't matter, ladies and gents. It's Friday. Aches and pains? Tired of aches and pains? Are you tired of aches and pains? Instead of relieving your aches and pains with the stupid medication, with dumb medication brought to you by Big Pharma, which this podcast has nothing to do with. Fuck Big Pharma, dude. But nonetheless, like it does some positive stuff too, but mostly fuck Big Pharma. So if you're tired of aches and pains, let's say you get a headache or you get a little bit of backache. Oh, my neck hurts. You'll say that. Instead of focusing on one area of your body being in pain, I found a revolutionary idea to completely get rid of all the pain in that one particular area. You're like, tell us, what is it? I will. Hold on a fucking second. The rushing. All you gotta do if you got a neck pain or a joint is hurting, your knee's hurting a little bit, you sprain an ankle or something, all you need to do is take a few steps back. Just for a second, just relax. Take a few steps back, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 steps back. Find a solid wall. At full speed, run straight into the wall. Slam yourself into the said wall. Now, all your body is in pain, which will completely make you forget about that one particular location in your body which was in pain. You're like, will this work on my sprained wrist? I'll tell you right, it does. It certainly does. You're like, what about hip and knees and all that stuff too? The hips and knees and all that stuff too. I'm telling you right now, we've tested it out. Just take a few steps back. Again, find a nice steady wall, a sturdy, hefty wall. Slam yourself right into it. And that dislocated shoulder will no longer feel like the worst pain in the world. I'm telling you right now. It's because people will always just pop a Tylenol, an Advil, or whatever. This, that, or slam yourself right into a wall. You will forget about that neck pain immediately and you'll thank me, but you don't need to. You're welcome. Leave a comment if you'd like. If it's helped you out, go ahead and do it right now. You're like, I don't know if this is gonna work. Well, you're not gonna find out without trying, are you? So you're like, I don't have access to walls. Well, I'm here to tell you that we've even figured a way out where you can forego the whole wall situation. You're like, I'm not a run into wall type of person. I don't see myself being lunged into a wall. That's a little bit of a risque situation. I don't even have walls. You'll say that. You work in a cubicle, you don't have proper walls. I get it. I've been there. It's hard to find a wall sometimes, you know. Here's what you do. Any door, grab a door, simply wedge yourself between the door, slam the door shut right on top of yourself, slam it shut, whatever it was. You're like, oh man, this ankle pain is killing me. I'm telling you right now, place yourself in between the door, slam the door, have somebody else slam the door. That's actually where you find this remedy to work immensely. If you find a person, a helper, a friend, even a bystander, anybody really, hey ma'am, sir, could you slam this door in my face right here, right now? Go ahead and give it a nice slam, please. My tits are hurting. You see, you understand, you know what it's like. I'm gonna slam the door right on your face and your entire body will rattle. And all of a sudden that tit that was kind of bothering you, no longer bothering you. So you don't always need to resort to medication and taking pills out there. I'm telling you, there are alternative ways of healing yourself and fixing yourself. Of course, there's going to be a lot of people that don't want this word to get out. They're like, yeah, slamming yourself into hard objects never works out. Fucking, you know, deniers, naysayers, haters, some say, people who don't want others to get better. That's what I say. So slam yourself into a giant rock. If you're walking outside in any forested area, in any place, you know, find some metal bars. If you see some place with a metal bar, just slam yourself straight ahead, head first into the metal bar. I'm telling you, that tailbone that's been kind of bothering you lately, no longer an issue. Why? You slammed yourself head first into some metal bars. Broken teeth, of course, yes, that's part of it. That's the gift. But the tailbone, no longer on your mind, occupying all your energy and resources. You're welcome. And we're doing it together, of course. This is a team effort. I've not done this by myself. I'm not going to take full credit. Just another doctor doing doctor work out there. Fucking doctors without borders, doctors with some borders, doctors that don't believe in borders, borderless doctors, nude doctors. That's where I do my best work. Nude doctors without border. I just get naked and do doctor work. But you know, some are like, oh, we got to concentrate first on Western medicine. Yes, it works. It's great, fantastic. But try, you know, practicing medicine in the nude and tell me it's not better. Just as I was outside on Wednesday getting caught in the rain and the slush and the frozen rain and the snow, it did remind me that I'm like, man, this situation is not getting any better. My pants are getting wet. My coat, my jacket, despite the fact that I've got an umbrella, it's still getting wet because of the wind blowing all the rain and snow on top of me. I was feeling like, man, if there's a better way to do this, if there's a way that I could somehow get my hands on some dry clothes. And nothing was coming to me, of course, at the moment. But then as I continued on my walk, I got an epiphany. It hit me out of the blue. I'm like, what is this? It was an idea. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Why don't more people just shove a lot of clothes up their ass so that when they're outside in the cold and they happen to get wet, if it's raining or snowing, they have extra clothing items on hand. Ever since then, I've started shoving a lot of clothing items up my ass. So whenever I go out now, I'm not worried about, I don't even check the weather anymore. Whether it's sun or rain, it doesn't matter, I'm prepared. I put ample amounts of food in my ass just to make sure if it's like, you never know. It might be even good weather, but it might even get better. And you're like, you know what? I wish I was wearing shorts right now. I wish I could just walk down to the beach if I had my swimsuit with me. Guess what, playa? You got some room. Shove it up your ass. And next time you're like, oh, my suit is all wet. I didn't even bring an umbrella, and I got an interview. I've got a job interview. My family's depending on it. I've got a dead grandpa who's almost dying, whose only wish is to before he dies, to see me succeed in some sort of, good job with, potential of growth and all that. So, and guess what? Normally you'd be walking down the street, not thinking about carrying an umbrella or an extra bag of clothing items with you, and you get caught up in the rain. Next thing you know, you're rained on. And now what happens? Oh, I'm in the first floor, boop, elevator all the way to the penthouse floor, waiting for an interview. Guess what? Mr. Johnson is about to see you in 10 minutes. You're soaking wet. You look like the wet rat. You wet rat looking motherfucker out there trying to get the best job in the city, or one of the top 500 jobs in the city. You wet rat looking motherfucker out here is trying to look unprofessional. So you show up there, Mr. Johnson's looking at you like, this guy's wet. We can't have wet guys on the penthouse floor running things from the top down. This is a dry community. They'll say that, and they'll be judging you for it, rightly so. Had you shoved some extra clothing items up your ass, you would have been able to, boop, right before you get onto the penthouse floor, stop by another lower floor, get into a bathroom, whip out the clothing items out of your ass, wear them instead, and then go into the boardroom or meeting room or wherever the office is on the penthouse floor, of course, have the meeting, have the interview, and they'll be looking at you, man, this dry son of a bitch. You're hired, they'll say. Now, Mr. Johnson, you're shaking hands with Mr. Johnson, real nice firm handshake, looking at each other's tits, not making eye contact, feeling each other's pulse on the palm of your hands, syncing, becoming one, tongue kissing your future boss. Oh, yes. Raises to be had, champagne bottles to be popped, panties to be torn off. That's when you get later. That's when you get home later and you tell your wife you got the job, you got the promotion. Panties ripped off. Those are the expensive panties. She'll say, why did you do that? Why did you do that, John? We can't afford multiple expensive panties. And you'll say, shut up, bitch. I got the promo. Making 100 G's every month now. Rip it all off right there. Panties ripped. Why? because you waited and you took a second before you did, just hastily gone out the door like you would any other, and you shove some clothing items up your ass, a pair of boots perhaps that are water resistant, something with a nice polish on it, a good tie. You know what I'm talking about? So please, give yourself the extra edge this coming year by shoving all the clothing items that you might think you might need later on in your ass, and not be that guy or gal who's frantically patting themselves down. Did I have extra clothing items on me? Looking like an idiot. You don't want to look like an idiot. All right? So please, ladies, gentlemen, shove 2-3 pairs of essential clothing items. How many times have people dropped a little bit of food on a mustard stain on my shirt? Oh, again, not again. Mustard stained Steve is what they call it. Mustard stained Steve, again, at it again with the mustard stained Steve over there, again, the mustard stain on this Steve again with the mustard. They'll say that, mustard stained Steve. Do you want that to be your nickname for the rest of your life? Or do you want to use a little bit of science and shove some clothing items up your ass and look out for your own overall health, betterment, improvement, and your families, betterment, improvement, lives being all, good and on the up and up? Or do you want to just be stuck in the rut, not shoving items of clothing up your ass? Make a decision, man. So, you're welcome. I solved it. It was one of those giant global issues that needed to be tackled, but got fucking pushed back to the back burner. But this is how we do it. One item at a time. You just pick it up and fucking put a little check mark beside it. It's done. No more wetness. Undesired wetness. No more unjust wetness. No more unpredictable wetness because you can't predict what the weather's going to be outside. None of that. No more shattered relationships. No more, where's Dada? Dada left. Dada couldn't handle it. Dada got wet one time, lost his job. Now he's selling ass on the streets because Dada didn't fucking shove items of clothing up his ass. That's where Dada is. You can tell your son or daughter that. Or shove some items of clothing up your ass. Instead of telling them that dreadful story, think of the youngins. Man has always been a dreamer. Men and women have always been dreamers. When I used man right there, I'm not referring to specifically men with penises or cocks or Johnsons or dicks. I'm talking about the gender. Humanity has been a bunch of dreamers, and that's what we do. We look up into nature, we look up into the sky, we look up to different things, and we say, gosh, golly gee, I wish I could do that. I wish I could fly. We said that. And we did that. Eventually we did that. Collective, we did that. Together we made flight happen. But we've yet to come together. We've yet to be able to say, you know what, it's good to fly. It's good to be able to take flight. It's good to do that. But we've not had the privilege and honor of being able to feel what it's really like to be a bird. And that is to take flight and defecate simultaneously, take a shit or piss in air. Until now, that is. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the all-new, improved zip line with shitting and pissing capabilities. That's right. From now on, if you want to be zip lining and you're like, I just do regular zip lining, no thanks. At our zip lines, in our company that produces zip lines, we allow clients, family members, really, that's the way we like to look at them because we don't consider you as clients, family members who come and visit us at our zip line facilities are allowed to, in fact, encouraged to get naked and zip line from A to B and take a shit and or piss while they're going down, because everybody can now, get a drone, get in a helicopter, get in an airplane, whatever, jumbo jet, private jet, all of it, make a jump on top of a large bird, put your baby out in the backyard, wait for an eagle or a hawk to swoop in and steal your baby, run, slide tackle, baby out the way, you get scooped up by the eagle now, and now you're flying. You could do that. You could easily do that. but you don't do that. Or you don't do that. No, you don't do that. But you know what you could do? You could sign up and enjoy our zipline facility, which again allows you to eat a full meal. We encourage you to eat as much as possible. Instead of eating one meal, eat 2, 3, 4 meals, because this is get your money's worth. And as you're ziplining, you could just diarrhea. We give you laxatives to take with you once you're on the zipline. Ingest the laxatives and just let the diarrhea, just feel it at once in your life, or once in your life as a grown adult. Feel what it feels like to actually just shit freely and piss freely without worrying about, am I gonna get this in the toilet bowl? Am I gonna get this cleaned up? Is this gonna leave a residue? And then at the same time, looking at birds in the sky, just shitting freely and pissing freely and saying, I wish I was a bird. How many times have you said that? Life listened, and that's why we created this company. And like, where does the shit and piss land? Wherever we want it to, wherever we install our zip lines, whether it's in cities and major metropolises all around the world, or and resort destinations as well. You're like, could I do it at my destination wedding for the guests? Could I do it? Yes, of course. We can have it at your destination wedding ceremony as well. We could put up a zip line, and you and your guests can zip line from A to B, one after another, in the nude, pissing and shitting the way God intended it to be, in the nude and in air. That's the way it was meant to be. So you're welcome. Again, fulfilling dreams, making wishes come true, giving back one step at a time. So no longer will you live a life where you're like, I'm now wrinkly and old and I'm a prude and I never got to fully live and experience what it's like to be like a bird. Well, you could do that. You could be 175 and you could just be like, oh, off the list, done it, did it, shat and pissed like a bird, truly. And that's a life well lived. In fact, if you've not experienced that, if you've not experienced our zip lines, you're not even living. I say you just kind of like go in a corner and don't eat and drink and kind of just make like an old pet and wither away if you're not using our zip lines, is what I'm trying to tell you. But otherwise, enjoy our zip lines, ladies and gents. Who am I, you're asking? You're asking, what is this? Who am I? Oh, I don't know. I'm just that little gap. I'm just that little gap. I feel like you never hear my side of the story. You're like, which gap are you talking about? I'm talking about, you've seen some ladies, you've seen some gents out there. Not too many of them, of course, but you've seen people who take razor blades and cut a little line in between their eyebrows. Men's and women's do it sometimes, and it looks like a little scar in the eyebrow. I'm that gap between the eyebrows. This is life through the perspective of that gap in the eyebrow world. Gosh, I look at this eyebrow and I feel so alone and naked. To the left of me, a patch of hair. To the right of me, also a patch of hair. Here I am in the middle, hairless, feeling kind of cold, feeling kind of left out. If only there was a way to connect the two sets of detached eyebrow together and make it whole, but I can't do anything. I'm just the space between the separated eyebrow. I look at other eyebrows and say, it's nice to be full, it's nice to be connected. I feel kind of disconnected, to be honest with you. Feels kind of isolated right down here in the center of things. I don't know where I belong. Do I belong to the left or the right? Which side of the eyebrow do I belong to? It's devastating seeing other eyebrows being full, intact, full-grown eyebrows, not separated by God knows what. But here I am. Who decided my fate is what I ask oftentimes. No answer, of course, because why? I am but a gap in between your eyebrow. I do look at some other eyebrows. I do see some people have genuine scars, and I look at myself and say, am I a fraud? But then I don't have any answers because I didn't have a say in this anyway from the beginning. I just happened to be here in the middle of an eyebrow. Why? Why am I in the middle of an eyebrow? There's already a giant gap between the two existing eyebrows. Why would you place me on top of your eyebrow? It's chilly out here in the winter. It gets cold. There's no fire. There's not a little fire pit for this little piece of land on your face. There's not the little hobos run around naked and afraid, and without a trash can, without a fire, looking for a place to just warm up and have a little bit of food and chit chat, and reminiscing about the good old days where they used to jump trains and have a little bit of fun traveling across the country. But after all, I am just a missing hair piece of land between your eyebrow, and it's weird, man. And I kind of want you to grow it back. Please grow it back, but also move me around. Why is it always in one spot? What made you put that line in that one particular spot? What is it saying? What is it saying? I am but a gap between your eyebrows. Hello, ladies and gents. What's going on in and around the world? A bunch of stuff. Is going on. One of Putin's cars blew up. Vladimir Putin's, one of his cars in the fleet that he has, if he has a fleet of cars, that blew up, which was not good for whoever's, I'll tell you what, who's not good. This is not good for the guy who's in charge of the fleet of the cars. That guy has got some explaining to do, because what happened there? Did somebody try to take out Vladimir Putin and his cars? Did they try to get Vladimir Putin or his cars? Did they know that he's got like an affinity for cars, and they're like, man, this is how we're gonna get him, by destroying his cars? Next thing you know, just Putin no longer wants to ride horses shirtless, and people are talking to him. Come on, boss, get on the horse. You know you like to drive horses shirtless. I don't want to. It just doesn't feel the same after my car blew up. You know? So that dude's got a couple of, you're gonna get, oh man, you're gonna need to explain yourself, mister. How did that car blow up? You being in charge of a fleet of cars for one of the most powerful men in the world, and he's no longer got the appetite to ride horses in the nude. You explain yourself, you son of a bitch. Explain yourself. So that's happening. What else is going on in and around the world? I do hear this one's a big one. I don't know what to make of it. It's too early to tell, which is a lot of things. It's too early to tell for a lot of things. They say that, but it's the global trade or tariff wars. They say that it's tariff wars. I see it in the headlines. I hear about it. I don't know the implications of it, and I don't know. But I'm being optimistic about things. I'm seeing, you know what? What if? Because it's too early to just start it. It's not like Star Wars. I've not seen Star Wars, but it's not like it doesn't. Star Wars people do get excited about. I've seen people get excited about Star Wars. This isn't like Star Wars. This is like take cover and get ready for tariff wars. When people, I don't know. We'll see. It's just starting right now. It's just taking effect right now. I don't know if it's going to be positive or negative. We'll only be able to tell this story in about down the line in generations. So, but what we're in 2025 right now. Let's say 2045, 2055, 2050. You could be sitting down with your kid.
Dada, tell me about the great trade tariff wars, Dada. Oh, cute little baby, where'd you hear that word, tariff? Dada, just tell your fucking story about the tariff wars, about the tariffs.
And coochie coo, young one, gather around and I'll tell you about the tariff wars, you'll say. It was a time like no other time.
Really, Dada?
Really, son. Now, just shut the fuck up and let Daddy tell you a story.
Okay, Dada. You shut the fuck up.
All right. But let me tell the story first. It was in the mid-20s. It was the mid-20s, and we've just come out of. It was mid-20s. It was not 2024. I can tell you that. And it was mid-20s, and it was the roaring 20s, son. It was the roaring 20s. People were dancing, and people were going to bars, like not as much,
like the 1920s, Dada, like underground pubs and bars during the Prohibition, Dada, like that.
No, son, less. more or less, that is, for some reason, people were not going to pubs and bars and clubs as much. I don't know what it was, son. Maybe it was a combination of people realizing perhaps they could live alternative lives and not go to pubs and bars and clubs as much, and maybe party with their own groups of friends and family. It's just expensive. It's expensive. You got to understand. So there's a lot had to do with money. So people didn't have as much money to go to pubs and bars and alcoholic beverages, although as good at the time. Weed had for some time now become quite popular amongst the youth as well. So people were just like, you know what, I'll just have a couple of hits of this and not get a hangover tomorrow. As people were saying different things, not to say that there's one answer for it, but nonetheless, no, not like the 1920s. There wasn't any, boogie woogie going down. There wasn't any, men in suits, delivering trucks filled with booze and alcoholic, but it wasn't like that. So, but it was the mid-20s nonetheless, and it was roaring.
Yeah, Dada, what else was happening, Dad?
And you could say that it was rough, but it was tough too.
Was it positive or negative, Dada? What was the tariff wars? Was it negative or positive, Dada? Tell me, negative or positive?
And you'll say, son, we had to give it some time. We were being optimistic, saying hopefully the leadership sees some higher wisdom that nobody really seems to. We were all really mostly optimistic. When we heard tariff wars, we said yes initially, because you wanted to be fully supportive of the new admin. See, prior to that, a horrible totalitarian admin had come into work, son. You see, and they placed the whole world on a lockdown, and they ruined a lot of lives. So this time around, we said switch it around, new person in. So we were all hopeful that it would be positive outcomes for everybody, for a lot of folks.
Who is it positive for, Dada?
We didn't know at the time. We didn't know, and we were hoping, and we are still hoping that tariffs will bring a positive impact for everybody.
Is that how it works, Dada?
Asking too many questions, son. Let Dada tell the story. Tariffs. It was rough times, because when things get tariffed, it costs more, son. It just costs more.
And why do things cost more, Dad?
Because it's never been the case where things cost less, son. I think it's never been the case where things cost less. Things are always costing more. There's never been historically a time where things actually cost. It's always over time. Things just cost more.
But how's the same things with better technology cost more, Dada?
You're, again, asking questions that Dada doesn't have the answer for. Yes, we do have better tech. Technically, things should be cheaper, but somehow we miraculously made it more expensive for people to live right now. It's crazy how that works, but nonetheless, son, tech is here to help people's lives get better and improved over time. So we're saying it's going to pay off in the future, dividends.
Like right now that is 2050, Dada?
Not quite right now, but eventually, long-term planning. Think of this as a long-term investment, son. Think of this as a long-term investment.
Tell me more, Dada. Tell me more.
I will tell you more. So the trade war, how did it start? It started a little bit, it may have something to do with globalization and dependence on other nations to make our goods and services.
Goods and services, Dada. I like goods and services. Can you buy me goods and services?
The Dada can't buy you goods and services, son. I don't think you're paying attention to the story. We'll get to the good parts later. But goods and services outsourced in other countries due to cheaper labor made us heavily dependent on other nations. And all of a sudden we look back at all this and we're like, all this business that we're doing is actually kind of not beneficial for us. You're kind of ripping us off, in fact, other nations. So give us a little bit more money, hence tariffs, son. That's taxes. We felt a little bit ripped off. So we're like, we need more taxes on top of things. Of course, other nations too realized that this is not going to be good. So they decided to retaliate by putting tariffs on their stuff. And the same stuff that got traded just started to end up costing everybody more.
Was that positive, Dada?
I'll tell you, initially we still believe that it will be, because further down the line, we're hoping the way this works is that higher tariffs make businesses that have actually gone overseas to bring those businesses back here, back home, so we get domestic made stuff, so that local made stuff would potentially bring back one, goods and services that are produced locally, but also too, just a sense of work and genuine craftsmanship and like a good nation building and the identity of a nation that takes pride in building its own, creating its own products. So that's all good. It's all gonna, it's just a long-term effect.
But is 25% taxes good enough incentive for companies to close everything down and bring it back over here so we can stop producing domestic?
Again, son, you're asking so many questions. Just give it time. Be optimistic that when they say tariffs, don't just jump the gun and think immediately everything's gonna get expensive. All right? And I'll tell you what, son, a major lesson to learn here is that you should only worry about tariffs and taxes if you've got money. So if you don't have money, there's nothing to worry about. Think about that logic. Think about that for a second. A lot of people say, taxes, tariffs, I'd only be worried if I had $1 to spend. So the point is, son, that the tariff wars were, it happened, it was a collective effort. Don't look at it as like one side or one person. It was a collective thing that globally happened, globalization. People were questioning things at the time. We thought it was a good thing. It had some good things, so it definitely had some good things. But also we learned a few things despite the positive thing. It had some ramifications. Like we fully became dependent on other nations to build and manufacture our goods and services, which was not good. But at the same time, we were benefiting from the cheaper labor costs, which was pretty sweet. Not gonna lie to you. For a little while, still, cheaper labor costs. It's pretty fucking. That's how you make a lot of money, actually. Which is great, son. So the tariffs, long term, for the everyday average person on anywhere around the planet, when people hear tariffs, it's time to, what you do to avoid getting hurt by tariffs, it's actually very simple. It's actually very simple. If you are worried about tariffs, simply just make more money. Just simply go out there and just make more money. And that's the way you fight tariffs and the rising cost of things. If things get expensive, you simply solve that problem by just make it so simple, actually. Just go make money, more money out there, okay? So it's lessons learned. I hope that now you know the basics of, but again, we had to give it time and we don't know. Again, this might be the most positive thing that ever happened, but only time will tell. And we're all staying positive and optimistic and moving forward with good faith and saying that yes, overall, leaders across the world helped and worked together and cooperated and brought prosperity, love and peace for everyone globally, son, all that good stuff. So that was the tariff wars. It's starting. Take cover, but also it's fucking exciting. Oh, you see a tariff, dog. Oh, chuck a tariff. You grab a tariff. Oh, come on. Oh my God, it's a live tariff. Get out of here, tariff. Toss the tariff. Shoot. Oh, right there, tariff. Go, gone, tariff. Be gone. We gotta save this tariff. This tariff is running away. Come here, tariff. We gotta save space for tariffs. Underground tariff the railroad. I've actually created that myself, the underground tariff railroad. When it got difficult for tariffs to move around, I found it, a lot of people were coming out and saying, oh, tariffs no good, and they were being negative towards the tariff. And did I rescue a bunch of tariffs? Absolutely. In my handmade underground railroad from across the nation, down, up and down, all the way down South America, the underground railroad that I created with my own 2 hands, with my own blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of cum. And I moved the tariffs along, and I did that. Ladies and gents, things are happening though. So it's good. Tariff wars are fun. It's exciting. Doesn't impact me none yet. And if it should, I'm guessing it'll be for the positive. It is good to bring back manufacturing. These are good. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, staying positive, optimistic. Everybody's making bank. That's right. Everybody is making bank. Hells yes. Everybody. Wait your turn though. The point is, ladies and gents, a lot of stuff are happening in and around the world. A beautiful story that caught my attention. A woman fencer I'm a woman who competes in fencing, was in a fencing competition, and you hear that term and you're immediately thinking of women who like to do, construction and put up fences during spring and summertime when it's a good temperature outside to put up fences. I'm not talking about that game. I'm not talking about construction. So you just jumped the gun. You just assumed, and to do that is to what? Make an ass out of you and me, while you know that you and I separately of each other have our own asses. So you don't need to combine us to make an ass out of you and me. We have our own. In fact, if it were any other way, I'd kind of be hyperventilating right now. If my ass was your ass and your ass was mine. Just the thought of it makes me nervous. But the point is, a female fencer, ladies and gents, took a knee, not because she was in pain, not because she was a female and females want to get on their knees, not because of those reasons, because she was about to go in a competition of fencing and fence other ladies, as in like sword fighting. Legal sword fighting, that's what we call them, fencers. And then all of a sudden, this competition, she saw a tranny walk in and put on the gear, because the tranny wanted to compete against the woman, and the woman who took a knee said, I'm not fencing you, tranny, not in those same words, but listen, I can't go verbatim. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what exactly transpired between the two. And then so the referee gave her a black card, I think. Again, I barely looked into it. I don't even know what a black card. I think she got black carded. She got disqualified because she didn't fight a tranny fencer. And it is a sad, sad day, ladies and gentlemen. It's a sad, sad day, because it has, over time in modernity, especially in the past, 150 years, especially in modern history, it's become a faux pas for men to beat women and be all up in women's spaces and, kind of dominate and, physically get in on women's things. It's like, so respect has become a thing, rights, females' rights has become a thing over the past 100 years, 50 years, and all that is good, but there's been a small population that is suffering, and those are men who like to beat women. This silent population, although small, has no real representation out there. I'm telling you right now, there's not many of them out there, but there's some men who like to beat women in different things. And a lot of times that, again, especially in Western society, for the most part, has been eliminated. You can't just beat women. You can't punch a bitch. It's frowned upon. It's a faux pas. Nobody likes it. People say boo, boo. So there are some people who want to beat a bitch, and whether it's, with actual beating physically, or competing against them in sports, and sometimes that happens and they don't get the chance, and these men just want to dominate women. They just want to get in there and say, sit down, woman, you weaker sex. They want to say that. They want to put women down, and it's, again, because of societal growth, or whatever you want to call it, we say that's a faux pas, that's a no-no. You don't do that. You go compete with your own sex, compete with other men, or compete with other trannies. Do that. Don't infringe upon women's spaces and rights, and that's one side of the story. But there is also the story of but what about the men that want to beat women? What about those guys? What do we have left? Just a memento, a wife beater at best that we can wear under our shirts and say, we've got a little something going on for us? I don't think so. So please raise awareness. There are some men still wanting to beat women, whether it's, you know, most likely they can't do it in society, because if they do, again, heavy discrimination, they get locked up. It's a whole thing. Sports is a tiny space where we can, sports and bathrooms and changing rooms. These are a few spaces where these men can go in and freak ladies out and just kind of be perverts. And it's a thing. So people are waking up to this fact and are saying, get in your own space. You perv, get in your, do your own thing. Fight people similar to yourself. And these guys are not many, but still they're out there. So raise awareness, let people know that there are bigots out there. There are selfish bigots out there who are discriminating against men who like to beat the shit out of a lady, whether it's in a boxing match, whether it's in wrestling, whether it's in basketball, or simply just terrorizing women in their bathrooms and change rooms. These men are not many, but they are out there. Help raise awareness so that these men can infringe upon women. Do it today. Do not be on the wrong side of things in the future when they look back and said, look at these bigots not letting men go and slap bitches around. Look at these discriminatory sons and daughters of bitch. So please do the right thing, raise awareness, and let a few men who want to beat on women get a chance to beat on women. It's not often we get to see that. There are many rules and regulations around that for some reason. I'm having a difficult time understanding what those reasons are, but nonetheless, there are reasons. The point is, please help raise awareness for men who want to beat women. This lady who took a knee, she's a monster. Women like her are monsters too. It's crazy because like more women are going to college and getting higher education and getting into the workforce and competing with men, but all of a sudden you're like, oh, a man can't beat a woman, you know? So it's like, we look out for one sex gender, why not look out for the other sex gender? Let a few men who want to beat women beat women. Quit being a bigot. Quit seeing things through whichever lens you're seeing things through. Okay? Enough is enough. Let trans men destroy females. Do the right thing. What else is going on in and around the world? I'll say, but I know. By the way, we should also say this. It is crazy times for. It must be crazy times for the penis and vagina fairy. That's right, the penis and vagina fairy. Because the penis and vagina fairy is going around always, designating every individual with the right penis and right vagina. And here we are saying we know better. We know better. We know better than the penis and vagina fairy. We're saying that. And penis and vagina fairy doesn't make mistakes. You think that the penis and vagina fairy makes mistakes? You're wrong. You're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. Billions of people through it. Initially you might seem like you got the wrong thing. But I'm telling you right now, the penis and vagina fairy's been in the game for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, and it rarely ever makes mistakes. Rarely ever. For the most part, it's penises and vaginas all day, every day. Every once in a while, the penis and vagina fairy might, get caught up in watching Netflix and doing work at the same time and might just fuck up a little bit. But for the majority of part, like 99.9999% of the times, the fucking vagina and penis fairy is designating the right part to the right bodies. That's right. That's right. What else is going on in and around the world, ladies and gents? I believe it was the video that I watched, I believe. Oh, yes, I did catch Will Smith releasing a new song album. It was dubbed kind of like a comeback album song, and in it, one of the songs depicted, here's the thing, it's Will Smith is, again, torn on many of things, and people sometimes, I love Chris Rock, and I grew up watching both Chris Rock and Will Smith, and again, the slap thing has just made it all, so I'm, as a fan, trying to, because deep down inside, if, I'm big on forgiveness. This isn't my thing to forgive. This is my thing to forgive. It's Chris Rock's thing and Will's thing that they will mostly, for the forgiveness part, it's a Chris Rock that's got, but that's a personal thing. Us as viewers, as fans, is like, people you like when you grow up watching them and you like their work and whatever and so it's I'm big on forgiveness, you know what I mean? Because I listen to I'll listen to Michael Jackson today. I'll still listen to MJ. So I'm a fan of forgiveness. I'm not saying I don't know what happened. I'm just saying certain things. If I wasn't there, it's hard to, if I really like the work, it's hard for me to be like, you know what I mean? So that's just Mike Tyson. Again, I don't know the deeds of but like it's, turning negatives into positives, sure, he bit a person he bit off a person's ear, like they were fighting in a ring. Yeah, but that's not part of the game, right? So there's forgiveness, and you see growth, and you're like, oh, I'm so glad that people grow and do better in life and just prosper and like, do good overall, just more good. And people make mistakes. People do fucking make mistakes. So it's hard to make I don't know if anybody, I did enjoy watching, I played soccer. I enjoyed watching a lot of soccer when I was younger too. It's been a few years, of course, that I've not, just as I've, been focusing on my things. And but like the Luis Suarez, one of my great soccer player, fucking scoring goals and biting people on the pitch several times. Again, I'm a big forgiver. Again, I've not been bitten, so it's easier for me to forgive, of course. But again, you can see how if you like somebody, you're like, well, okay, well, nobody's perfect. And again, I'm not. At the time, it was pretty fucking wild. At the time, everybody clapping at the Oscars and like, and So now he's made a song and a whole album, and it's a different thing. It's a different thing because now you do see like, people used to be like Hollywood was Hollywood and superstars were superstars, but now you see superstar elite, people doing like DIY projects, whereas and that's a little bit, it's a different thing. And overall, I'm supportive of as many people as I can be. So over the song itself, the one he addressed a few things in the song, like they talk about talking about what he did, kind of referring to the slap thing. He wore a dress in the video. He wore a dress which just initially, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. And again, I love Cat Williams, right? And after a little while, you're like, oh, black men in dresses. What is up with that? Question mark. But also, people do make their own decisions too. So I'm like, oh, Cat was, he's right about so many things. But also, but Will's also a grown man, and he has his own decision-making abilities and millions of dollars and lots of, so he doesn't need to wear a dress and make a DIY style rap song to kind of say, look at me poking fun of myself with the whole, but at the same rate, and this, it's kind of, it's not a full-blown making fun of himself, because like at the same time, and like if you listen to the song, he's like, you still want to talk to me if you got a chance, or something along those lines, or whatever, which is true. If people do, like most people, if you see Will Smith and he'd want to converse with you for a few minutes or whatever, you would be like, yes, okay, let's hang out. So there's a little bit of truth in that as well. So you got to just, try to be objectively fair as possible. So that's the objectively fair outlook, is that I'm happy for everyone. Man, I wish the slap didn't happen, because I want another Men in Black. I'm not going to lie to you. I do want another Men in Black. I do it, and the slap did suck. The slap sucked. It's never going to leave my head now. It's never going to leave my head. God, that slap sucked. That slap sucked. So many cocks. But But then he made another line in the video which doesn't resonate, because he's like saying you wish you had a chick like Jada, or you wish you had a woman. Again, I don't remember the exact words, but something along those lines. That you wish you had a chick like Jada. And I don't think so. I don't think so. Again, love Will Smith, and just from what I've seen, I don't want any bitches talking about different entanglements with other people. What? I don't want that. I don't think many people want that. But nonetheless, he wore a dress. He poked fun at himself. It was overall. I'm feeling like, in my mind, if I do see a good Men in Black, not just don't do a shitty Men in Black, but if you are gonna do another, like, oh come on, because again, growing up, you see certain things, you grow with them, you love them, and it's like, yes, I would like to see another Men in Black. So there. Do I want the slap to have never happened? Of course, yes. Do people make mistakes? Yes. It's so difficult, because everybody wants you to pick a side with everything. I pick both. I pick both Chris and Will. All right, I pick two black men. It just made me. But that's also note to self. I think if you do get into physical altercation, uncalled for physical altercations, give it a little time. Make a DIY video about it, kind of referring to it, not really strictly specifically referring, but like, just drop a song. You hit a person unjustly, people clapped. It was a little bit of it felt weird in your mind. It's cognitive dissonance, because you're like, oh, violence, bad. Overall, Hollywood is against, despite the, we fucking love our Hollywood movies with guns and shit too. So it is a lot of just, cognitive dissonance, because you're like, oh, he's a comic, he's funny, he says stuff, people talk, it's just words. Oh, he said nigga in his videos, which was, I say that, I don't think prior to that he said, I've never heard Will Smith say nigga, but he did say it in the video, in the new. Here's my thing. Nigga is to be said prior to hitting people. You say nigga so you don't hit people. You don't hit people, then say nigga. That's kind of like, now you're doubling down on the like, no, nigga. Like, you know what? So you say nigga, so you got it. Because, pressure relief valves, that's what they are. Certain things in life are pressure relief valves. It's just a good word. You got to come on. It's a good word. We all know it's a fucking good word. But that's the thing. You say it prior. You say it prior so you don't hit people. You don't say for so many years, then somebody says something, then you go slap him, then you drop a song and then say nigga. It's like, no, you say nigga so you don't hit people. That's why that's how society's kept together, by people talking, expressing themselves. That's how you not hit people, by letting people talk. I bet you right now, if he said nigga a few more times before this, he wouldn't have probably slapped Chris Rock. He should have just probably said, when he was sitting down, he should have just probably like, nigga, come on. Just, you know what I mean? Like, but again, you don't say nigga for a long time. Somebody says something, it's just accumulated over time. Again, pressure valves have got to be released every once in a while. Or you go hit a person and then you drop nigga and you wear a dress, and it's just a lot. I hope everybody does well, and I know they are. Most of these people that these guys you're all doing well. You're all doing good. It's not like, what am I even trying to say? All I'm trying to say was conflicting emotions. Yes, I wish the slap never happened. Do I want another Men in Black? Yes, personally speaking. And you might have your own opinions out there, and leave a comment if you do. I don't care. If you don't want to see another Men in Black, then don't see another Men in Black. I do. Just saying. Yes, do I wish the slap didn't happen? Of course. I wish he just yelled out nigga, to be honest with you. Nigga, get off. Nigga, come on, nigga. You know what I mean? I wish he said that instead. But he didn't, he slapped. But that's why you do things, pressure valves. Remember that pressure in life is mostly about sunny days and pressure valves. That's what it really is, isn't it, ladies and gents? What else is going on? Corey, the guy in the Senate, Senator Corey, I forget his full name, to be honest with you. It happened recently. I'm not too involved in the, details of U.S. politics or different politics. He's a politician, but nonetheless, he's a senator. Corey starts with a B. I want to say so, or am I getting the first? something Corey or Corey, some Corey Burner, Corey Bonner, Corey Burns, Corey Abrams, Corey Bono, Corey Bobberts, Corey. Doesn't matter. Corey is in there. He's a senator. He's a senator. And the reason why it caught my attention is that he did a thing. He did a thing in the Senate. He spoke for like 25 hours, I think. He just stood there, and I think that's what I'm not quite sure if that's, I didn't even know he could do that. He could just stand there and talk forever. 25 hours this guy talked. 25 hours this guy just talked straight 25 times. What are you doing talking to 24? More than a day? You do more than a day of anything. I'm gonna have to see some x-rays. We're gonna have to, I believe, because people are like, oh, I don't know the intricacies of the, US politics or politics of anywhere for that matter. I like to just keep tabs on everything as much as possible as I can. Nonetheless, I do see somebody speaking for 25 hours. Alarm bells are going off. I'm like, what are these alarm bells? What are these chimes? I'm in a store full of chimes and alarm bells, so that's nothing new, but that's aside the point. After I make my exit, I realize, could it be a human, or is it what I really think it is, or what I want to believe it is? Could it be a demon? Could it be an extraterrestrial fucking demon? Because who doesn't take a break for 25 hours? Not pissing or eating, just standing there talking for I don't even know what he said. I don't care. I don't know what he's siding with or siding against. I don't care. But you speak for 25 hours. This guy needs to be tested. Bring him in. I don't even think he's human at this point. 25 hours without taking a break. It doesn't matter what you said. Nobody knows what you said. For 25 hours, if you talk, nobody's paying attention. The only thing people notice is that you talk for 25 hours. Maybe he said some good things, maybe he said some bad. I have no idea. I literally didn't listen to a word he said. A minute and 10 seconds, maybe a couple of words he said towards the end, because I just wanted to see a man who's been up on his feet for 25 hours, just talking, yapping for 25 hours straight. He's a filibuster is what that's what I learned a new name, a new term, filibuster. I didn't know that. It's like a term, that's what they do when you obstruct proceedings by just talking for a really long time in senates, and so it goes way back to he's a filibuster, which kind of sounds like an 80s diss. You're a filibuster, motherfucker, filibuster, son of a bitch. It sounds like one of those terms, but then you hear it and then it just kind of no longer was the filibuster of today is not the same as the filibuster of yesterday or yesteryear. Because you called somebody a filibuster in the 80s, you might get smacked, son. You call somebody a filibuster today, you're just an old head. He was a filibuster. But the point is, he talked for 25 hours, and I'm just got questions. What's underneath? Rip the mask off. What's underneath the face, man? Real human? Or Illuminati lizard man under there? Did somebody check what was underneath his feet? Was he pissing as he was did he leak? Was he leaking out of anywhere? Or maybe, low-key, maybe he is trying to promote a kink known on the online world as piss deprivation. Connect the dots, motherfuckers. Piss deprivation? You trying to Corey Adams, god damn it, what was his full name? I could easily check, but I'm not gonna. Corey, you trying to promote piss deprivation? You trying to get out there and tell people that you're trying to kink promote piss deprivation, son? Trying to get out there and tell people to hold their piss as long as they can, and then hold it some more, and then edge, and then hold it even a little bit longer, and when they're about to let it go, hold it even a little bit longer, so that when they do finally let go, it is are you trying to get people to orgasm with urinating, but are borderline crossing the boundaries of risky health and wellness procedures, movements, exercises? What are you trying to do there? You into piss deprivation? Do you get men and women to hold in their pee? Do you get your kicks from people who hold in their pee? You think it's all fun and games because you hold your pee for a really long time, but people who piss maybe every hour or two because they drink a lot of coffee, and you look at them and you're like, I'd like to see you piss deprived. You piss frequent pisser you? Is that what it is? trying to promote piss deprivation on live television. I don't know if it was live, I think it was. Trying to just promote piss deprivation on TV, trying to get a kink going. We not have enough the furries and the, you know, the whatever, and the sliced tongues and the, yeah, so you think about that, Mr. Corey, and other people who are, I don't know what's going on. Somebody needs to check this guy. I don't think it's a human we're dealing with. Whatever sort of dark sorcery and voodoo you're applying, sir, will not be accepted on these floors. Hear ye, yay or nay. Until next time, remember, sunny days and pressure release valves. Peace out. Get out of here.